This is not attraction, it's something deeper, because attraction excites the mind, but what you're feeling touches the soul. Psychology says attraction is temporary. It rises from desire and fades with time. But some connections don't fade. They stay. Quietly. Consistently. Spiritually, this happens when two souls recognize each other beyond logic. And psychologically, this happens when someone reaches parts of you no one ever reached before. If one person keeps living in your thoughts without effort, if their presence feels familiar, calming, and intense at the same time, then this is not coincidence. This is not attraction. This is something deeper. 1. Attraction excites you, but deep connection calms you. Psychology says attraction activates dopamine. That's the chemical of excitement, thrill, and desire. It makes your heart race. It makes your thoughts obsessive. It makes everything feel intense. But deep connection works differently. It activates oxytocin and serotonin, the chemicals of safety, bonding, and emotional grounding. That's why, around this person, you don't just feel excited, you feel calm. Even in silence, their presence regulates your nervous system. Your breathing slows down, your mind feels less noisy, your body feels less defensive. Spiritually, this happens when two energies resonate at the same frequency. Your soul recognizes safety before your mind labels love. This is why you don't feel the need to impress them. You don't feel the urge to perform. You don't feel anxiety about being enough. You just are. And psychology confirms this. When someone makes your nervous system feel safe, your brain interprets them as home. That's not attraction. That's emotional alignment. 2. Attraction wants possession. Deep connection wants understanding. Attraction asks, "How can I have you?" But deep connection asks, "How can I understand you?" When this person speaks, you don't just hear words. You sense emotions behind them. You feel pauses. You understand silence. Psychologically, this happens because emotional attunement is present. Your mirror neurons are active. You subconsciously mirror each other's emotional states. Spiritually, this is called soul resonance, where one soul naturally tunes into another without effort. That's why their pain affects you. Their happiness lifts you. Their absence feels heavy, not because you're dependent, but because you're connected. This is something deeper. 3-way attraction is loud, deep connection is quiet, but constant attraction needs constant stimulation, texts, reassurance, validation. But deep connection doesn't panic in silence. It trusts the bond. Even when you don't talk for days, even when life creates distance, the connection doesn't weaken. Psychology explains this as secure emotional bonding. Your brain doesn't associate distance with danger. Spiritually, this means the bond exists beyond time and space. That's why they randomly appear in your thoughts, not because you miss them, but because the connection is alive. 4. This connection triggers healing, not just happiness. Attraction wants pleasure. Deep connection triggers transformation. This person doesn't just make you smile. They make you face parts of yourself you avoided. Your insecurities surface. Your fears rise, your old wounds open. Psychology says deep emotional bonds activate unresolved attachment patterns. Spiritually, this is karmic activation, a connection meant to heal, not just comfort. That's why it feels intense. That's why it feels confusing. That's why it feels painful at times. Not because it's wrong, but because it's deep. 5. Attraction ends. When reality appears, deep connection grows with truth. Attraction survives fantasies. Deep connection survives truth. When you see their flaws, the feeling doesn't die, it deepens. Psychology says this happens when love is based on emotional compatibility, not idealization. Spiritually, this means you're not loving the image. You're loving the soul. That's rare, and that's powerful. 6. You don't choose this connection, it chooses you. Attraction feels like a decision. Deep connection feels inevitable. You didn't plan it, you didn't search for it. It happened. Psychology explains this through subconscious familiarity. Your brain recognizes emotional patterns that feel known. This is soul recognition. That's why it feels destined. That's why it feels meaningful. 7. Distance doesn't end. This connection, it reveals its depth. Attraction weakens when distance appears, but a deep connection doesn't disappear. It becomes quieter and stronger. Even when you don't talk, this person stays in your emotional space. They come to your mind suddenly without effort. Psychology calls this emotional bonding. Your brain has already accepted them as important. Distance comes to test patience, not love. If the feeling remains calm instead of anxious, it means the bond is real. This is not attachment. This is depth. 8. This connection changes you from the inside. Attraction makes you feel good, but a deep connection makes you grow. After meeting this person, your view of love changes. You stop craving shallow attention. You start wanting emotional truth. Psychology says such connections reshape emotional standards. Spiritually, some souls enter your life to awaken you, not to stay forever, but to change you forever. If this connection made you more aware and emotionally alive, then this was never just attraction. It was something deeper. If you're feeling this, you're not imagining it. You're not weak. You're not lost. You're experiencing something deeper. And connections like this don't come to everyone. They come to transform you. Trust it, learn from it, and honor it. Because this is not attraction. It's something deeper.